So, in other train wreck news that I think is ridiculous, personally, getting a Joker origin movie without Jared Leto, apparently not set in the DCEU, that is live action, involving, at least right now, Scorsese.
Which is brilliant.
Well, yeah, sure. But, like, I feel like exploring the Joker's origins ruins the character.
How
First
so?
off.
How so?
Well, part of, like, So let's go to your go-to example for the Joker, The Dark Knight. Part of the greatness of him was that you don't actually 100% know where he's from. You likely, like, it's very likely that he had ex-military background. That part is, like, at least mostly hinted at. But beyond that, you don't know if he was actually abused by his father. You don't know if his parents actually had, an abusive relationship where they fought each other like he tried to point it out. You don't know if he actually cut his own smile.
Right.
Or if someone did it to him. You don't know much about where he's from, and that's part of the brilliance of the Joker in general. But, not just Dark Knight Joker.
But then you could argue another direction. The Killing Joke is considered one of the greatest comics of all time, and that explores his origins a little bit.
Yeah. But it also doesn't do it, like, super in-depth. It doesn't be like, he was born here, and, like, this is every step of his life. Like, how in-depth is this origin? That's another question. Like, because if they ruin the mystique of the character by being like, he was an ordinary guy, let's follow him for 5 years of his life, and this and that, and like, oh, now he's the Joker. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't see them doing that, though.
No, I'm just saying I don't know how in-depth they want to make the origin.
Right, and this is the thing, it's just been announced, but like...
It also doesn't matter because it connects to nothing, so it's just that Joker.
It's just throwing it out there, here's a Joker movie. But I'm excited...
That Joker.
Right.
Not any other Joker.
No.
Like, this Joker's origin.
Yes.
So then it makes you wonder, does it matter? Because they say it's not part of the DCEU.
Well, no, but it's still an addition to the DC universe. It's not the DCEU. And I don't know, I think with this could be interesting. I think what people are frustrated about, and that I get, is that there are so many characters that they could do an Origins movie on or do a different series off, and they continually push the Joker. I love the Joker, and this news is exciting for me, and the fact that Scorsese's doing it is fantastic news. But there are thousands of characters, and I guess even bringing it down even farther, there's at least 50 characters that you could do a Origins own movie off of in the DC universe that have not been looked at or touched, and yet they continually go back to the Joker. So that's one thing that I could see why people are frustrated with this, because it makes sense. Like, there's a lot in the DC universe that just is ignored and is just left in the comics.
As far as this goes, to tell you the truth, I'm sure I sound annoyed by it. I don't care. I'm not going to see it.
I'm definitely going to see it.
I'm not going to. I don't care. This is the same thing for me as the Han Solo movie. I see you're making this thing. I have no interest in it. I don't care. It's the same thing for me with what was the other movie we were recently talking about just like this? I think it was Ant-Man. The second Ant-Man.
Oh,
you're making another Ant-Man. I didn't like the first. I don't care. See you later. That's basically my sentiments on this. Is like, I think it's pointless. Because you're making a Joker Joker origin story, but it's only the Joker from that movie, so technically it's not really any other Joker, like, unless this does tie to the DCU. I'm just saying, like, it's not like this movie has large implications for other movies, and not every movie needs to, but if you're titling it like you're pushing your movie as an origin story for an existing character, right? But it's not any version of the existing character that's anywhere else.
Right.
If that's the case, why are we looking at the origin story of this Joker that is only in a self-contained thing that has nothing to do with anything? I feel like you might as well just recast a younger Joker, look at the Leto Joker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as a younger man, like maybe in his 20s, see his origin story, and then it actually has larger implications into other things. That's all I'm saying.
No,
if you're pushing an origin of a character that is already on screen, that, like, in the last year, that's all I'm saying.
No, and that's the thing is that maybe, and you're right, the biggest problem with it is the timing. And
if it was in 10 years, who cares?
Right, or if it was even, say it was before, like, I don't know, say early 2000s or something like that, before Batman Begins came out or whatever. And, I mean, who would have thought that the superhero genre would have taken off like it did? To the insane lengths that it has. But I think the timing and the character choice.
Pepperidge Farm remembers X-Men.
Yes, it does. Very much. But the timing and the character choice aren't great, but it doesn't mean that it won't be a good movie, and that it won't be well done, and that it won't be a respectable addition of the DC universe.
But I certainly
especially
don't,
with Scorsese behind the wheel.
But I don't blame people who are burned out with this character, like you said, or people who just like they've bought into what the DCEU is trying to be, and now all of a sudden they're trying to push different brands, like different, you know what I mean, banners for their movies. Like, was this Earth 1 DCEU or Earth 25? It is the multiverse. Over here we have Joker, who started out as a carnival animal. He was an elephant. Over here we have Batman, who got diabetes and he can't fight crime anymore. In that universe we have Supergirl, if she lost her leg in Vietnam. It's like, we don't need all these different versions of the characters. We already have those confusing ass things in the comics. Like, where there's 500 versions of Batman. It's like, I'm Batman, but I'm a monkey. I'm Batman, but I'm a mechanic. You know what I mean? We don't need this. I don't know. It's just unnecessary. And I still stand by the statement I made to you off camera that I do think to an extent it is, I think to an extent, confusing for the general audience. To be like, it's the Joker, but it's not that Joker. Is it this Joker? Which Joker could it be? Because, like, I think if they advertise it, like in the trailers, not a part of the DCEU, you've lost some sales there. Because the people who bought into the DCEU are like, okay.
I think potentially, but also people that don't like the DCEU maybe see this as like, well, finally, something a little bit different. Because, like we were talking about earlier, I mean, the DCEU hasn't exactly been reliable for great products. I've liked pretty much all of them except Suicide Squad. But the general consensus hasn't been positive with a lot of DCEU movies. And so bringing something that's fresh and separate could be good for them as far as the box office goes still. Yeah. And you have the name Scorsese on there, like I've mentioned before, and whoever you have as an actor. I mean, this really could go in a positive direction, but at the same time, it's not great timing, and it's just not the best character selection right now.
And I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, guys. Let us know what you think down below. I know this news came out a couple days ago, but I thought it was still interesting to talk about. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.